Hey, friends, we are fearless. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Frances Young, and I have Helena Woods with me all the way from Paris, France. This is cool. Helena, welcome.
Thank you for having me on. This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it is. We literally met for the first time in Zoom person 10 minutes ago.
And our chemistry is already incredible.
I knew we were going to be like laughing as soon as we came on. How at least you came to the sphere of, I found you in the algorithm somehow, and you are an astrocartographer. And we're here on season 6 of my podcast for myself, how I look at humans that I want my community to know stuff about, information about. I would call you a type of health and wellness person. You look after people's health and wellness with astrology and astrocartography.
Yes.
Please tell us about yourself and about what you do.
Thank you, Frances. And congratulations on 6 seasons, by the way. That's incredible.
Thanks.
You know how many people start a podcast after 1 season and quit? Oh my gosh. I love to see people who are bringing their work out there long term. I just love it so much. I am, living in France, and I found astrology years ago when I was in high school. And when I found astrocartography, when I moved to France in 2018, it was just this knowingness of I'm obsessed with the power of place and understanding why people feel better in other parts of the world. I just noticed in my own life that when I traveled or lived in certain places, certain storylines or events or themes and energies would happen. And I'm now on a mission to help people be in their best places.
That was a perfect mission statement written out, but that was just passion from your life of fucking love this thing. You've only been doing the astrocartography part since 2018. That's interesting.
2018.
Cool. Because my perception of you, not knowing you, I'm like, this girl's been doing it her whole astrology career. Yeah. I see what comes up. You're pretty consistent. I love it. But I'm also like, she knows her shit. So
wow. Cool. Thank you. I've been studying astrology since 2011. And I was obsessed with relationship compatibility. Like people I liked, the people I had crushes on, I would try to understand how does this person think? What does this person value? My friends. And I would try to understand people. And I think that was the first obsession, was relationship compatibility with birthdays. I was actually gifted the Secret Language of Birthdays book when I was a junior in high school in 2011. I just was obsessed. And to this day, I still have the books. Yes. And every time I meet someone, I'm like, what's the birthday? What's the relationship? I'm still obsessed. What's the day? It's one of the first things I ask. Even when I go shopping or go to the coffee shop, I'm like, what's your birthday? I'm obsessed with people. And I remember I went to college, left home, moved to New York, went to college, and I would skip class and I would go to the Barnes & Noble across the street from my college, and I would just sit on the floor reading Astro Twins books and Linda Goodman sun sign books. I would just pour over all the astrology books, and I couldn't buy them because I didn't have any money. I would go back every day, every couple of days, and read more astrology books. And I didn't realize that this could be a career until way later. It wasn't actually until I moved to France when, we'll talk about this, but the relocation chart changed. So you have a birth chart, which shows your natal promise of your life and what you're here to do and the blueprint of your story. But you also have what's called relocation charts. When you move to a new part of the world, your chart stays the same, except the houses move.
Cool.
And so you're going to get, like, if your sun's or your moon's in for instance, the 10th house. Yeah. Right? Then it could shift to like the 7th house, depending on where you move. Your planets will go into different areas of your life. When I moved to France, the astrology story of doing that with my career and like my identity going in that direction of 9th house stuff, that was when it turned on, was when I moved to France. I never realized it could be a career until I came out here.
Okay. So it's still been a more recent journey. Now, one question that popped into my head, this is a little bit off topic of our questions, because yes, I wrote down questions, folks, because I knew Helen and I would go so many directions, is what did you go to college for? Because it wasn't astrology.
Theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
All right.
The old moon on the midheaven.
Yeah. I want to be a performer 24/7.
Oh, yeah. And I grew up on that. I grew up in a moon MC line on my astrocartography map. I have it in Leo. And it was like, I grew up wanting to be on stage, wanting to be a performer, dance, musical theater, Shakespeare, all of it. That's why I moved to New York and did the whole thing for 5 years. And it was crazy because the clues were there. Find those excitements, those things that you keep doing when you're not working or you're not pursuing the career. What are the things you're Googling? What are the things you're listening, watching YouTube videos about? The calling is there.
Totally. I so fucking wish that and now it will, our generation having kids, I fucking can't wait till our kids are like just in that moment where we're like really seeing what they like and what they don't like, depending on their human design, their astrology, for these other types of ways in which we understand our kids from the beginning. We're going to help them achieve so much more. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I know. I have a friend who literally her first son was just born like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And the minute she told me the birth time, I was like, gonna pull up the chart. And it's the Mars-Neptune conjunction. And I'm like, oh, he's going to love martial arts. He might be into drumming. And he'll love music. I'm like obsessed. Yeah.
Amazing. It's going to be so liberating for that generation and when we're having kids. Okay. There aren't any questions coming up immediately in my brain. So I'll go to my list. How has moving to Paris changed your health? Like your physical, mental, all the things.
Oh my gosh. It has really inspired me to slow down because when I was living in the US, when I was living in California and then New York and then Virginia, it was just hustle all the time. I had to hustle to pay my bills. I had to work a million part-time jobs just to pay my rent. And when I moved to France, it was like everything's closed on Sunday. Everyone takes the month of August off. Everyone takes a 2-hour lunch break. Everything's closed in my town for 2 hours, middle of the day. Sometimes they go over that. And it's like being in France when I first moved here, the first year was really hard, like adjusting to the lifestyle shift. Because I'm coming out from the East Coast. I'm like in this hustle mentality. And I'm just like, why is everything so slow here? And like, no one's like really like that ambition, that drive. And I'm naturally an ambitious, driven person, but it's like that slow down. You don't have to work so many hours. I think there's a lot about the foundation of the country that helps that and like less stress. But for me, learning how to live a slower paced life and be able to take more breaks, working 4-day weeks instead of 5-day weeks, it's been a huge game changer for me.
Fucking love that. And that's actually not what answer am I expecting. That's awesome. Europe in general moves different than North America. Of the few countries I've visited in Europe and just thinking about siestas in general, I'm like, that's European life as a whole.
Yeah.
A couple of my clients for personal training, I trained someone who's German who grew up there, trained someone who's actually, he's a Frenchman. He's going back to Paris in like a couple weeks. I'm like, what are you looking forward to? He's like, chill.
Yes. Yes.
It's so
For
different.
real. I also, when I coming out here, I have a Saturn-ascendant line really close to where I'm living. And that's an astrocartography line. And for me, because the ascendant is your body. It's your physical body. It's your vessel. And so when you have a planet on the ascendant in a new place, that planet is influencing your body and your identity and what you're doing. And for me, I've become more disciplined, but in a more long-term thinking, not hustling, not moving so fast. It's like long-term planning the big picture vision and consistently showing up in small ways. It's like the snail going at a snail's pace, but not quitting. For me, and it's been in different ways. If I go for my 1.5-hour walk every day. I go to the gardens. I live right outside Versailles Gardens. I go for a long walk. I have my routines. I'm on my hydration. I'm like on top of that. I take my supplements. It's the focus of the discipline, the consistency of prioritizing my health is also a huge part of my story in the relocation chart here in France too.
Cool. That's interesting for me to hear. As like momentary backstory, with being in health and wellness my entire career, I went to university for dance. So I have a dance degree. Leo performing moment. I'm still a professional dancer now. Yeah. So cool.
I love it.
I do have to tell you about a couple astrocartography lines I've looked up for myself just to be like, this is crazy that I do this. Of course, it's on my astrology chart. I've always, when clients ask me the questions of what should I eat and all these more specific things, when human design came into my sphere It literally happened pretty close to the middle of my Saturn return, like the exact, almost within a couple days. It randomly popped up as a generator responding to it. Like, holy shit, this thing is going to change my life, not knowing where it's going to go. But it finally gave me all of the answers to, I don't want to tell somebody that's a generator that has, to say some random human design things, if someone's got an indirect digestion and that they are someone that's more awake at night, they should be eating when it's darker outside, not when it's as bright. Or someone's direct and they've got those exact opposites. No wonder they have gut issues. Like, fuck.
I am so fascinated by this. I don't know a lot about human design. I just know about the profile numbers, but like fascinated by digestion. It is so important.
I know yours. I looked it up. I'm not crazy, but I can tell you about yours. I'm so pumped to tell you. And what your environment style is. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
We'll get
health is like everything. It's number one, because without our health, we're nothing.
Fucked. Yeah.
Yes. Fascinating. I know I'm sound, right? So I always listen to podcasts and music when I'm eating.
There you go. Yeah. It's called, there's lots of different names for it. Sound or high, being just out in a cafe. If you're at home just by yourself with your husband and it's quiet, that's not it.
Nope. I'm always having to listen to something or have conversation when I'm at home eating. Yeah.
There you go. Health knowledge would say, oh, I should chew my food slowly. I should be in a calm, serene environment, not have my iPad out in front of me as a kid. Fuck, if you weren't, you actually need the stimulation.
Yes.
That actually helps your digestion.
Why we're all so unique. This is why following our unique design, our charts, our blueprint, how our keys to success are going to be so unique to us. That's why I'm obsessed with astrology. I've been thinking a lot lately about how what I do as an astrologer is this like personal development and practical tools, giving people practical information and tools to have more success, more ease, more things working out for them. Instead of just being this general idea like in life coaching or personal development, it's like, no, we're catering to your unique blueprint and how you do things. And I think that's the magic of like astrology and human design, and how it's so fun.
It's so fun. The cool thing is that it's fun. And I've definitely been through different rabbit holes. We'll get back on track of the next question. How I have perceived my own journey through myself, of my astrology, my own design, my love, dislike for different placements, and all these things that I've dealt with internally. So that, you know, I have a stellium with my Mercury, my Chiron, and my Sun right next to each other in my second house. It's a lot.
Wow. Yes.
I'm very contemplative inwardly. Heal myself, and then I talk about it.
I love it. And your Mars is in the 12th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of that inward journey. I love it.
Journey. Once I get really comfortable with it, I become even more excited to tell people and help people just feel, my friends, hey, it's okay if, you know, the astrology and all of what, if you follow those things, feels like it's doom and gloom or that these placements are hard. Actually, Uranus passing over your sun was the best experience you've had so far.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, I know. There's always a positive side to look at any astrocartography line, planet in someone's chart. I see a lot of people who they complain a lot about like their Mars-Saturn conjunction. When I have clients that have Mars-Saturn conjunction, which is one of the hardest things to see in a birth chart usually. But there's so much benefit to even the hardest placements.
Yeah.
There's a constructive, supportive side to everything. Even Venus and Jupiter, the two best planets in astrology, they also have dark sides.
Of course they do.
I think that's what makes a great astrologer, is someone who could see nuance and see multiple angles of things and multiple perspectives. Interpretation is literally what astrology is all about.
It is. It's key. And we do have to seek multiple people to have multiple interpretations. It shouldn't be this one way or the highway of how many people I've seen that 2026 is the year. Maybe it's not even 2026. Fuck, no, just wait.
I know.
You just wait till the next shit hops in. This is where the shit burns down. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm actually excited about what's coming next, even though I am not somebody that currently looks too far ahead into years ahead astrology. I'll say one thing, then back on question because it popped back into my head. One of my Venus lines directly goes through Valencia, Spain.
Yeah.
And Valencia is like, you know, super close to Ibiza, which is where Ibiza is the birthplace of human design.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, right?
I love that. I've met another human design reader who had like Uranus going right through that area too. It's fascinating how that I know I've got some magical lines going through Persia and Greece, and that's the origins of Hellenistic astrology and traditional astrology. And it's so cool when that happens. I love it.
It doesn't lie. It's super fucking cool.
It doesn't.
Okay. This is an interesting question because this will go down personal rabbit holes for both of us. Did you dream of living in Europe when you were a kid?
Never. In fact, my husband and I, when we were dating in New York, we almost broke up a year in. It was like 1 year later because he said, I kind of want to move to France. I would love to move to France and teach English. And I said, you can move to France, but I'm not coming with you. My life is in New York. I can't ever see myself leaving New York. My whole world and identity is here. If you move to France, we're breaking up. Right? I'm so silly because it's literally like I was the one who asked him 2 years later, can we please leave the United States and move to Europe? So we did. It's amazing how that can change. I never thought I would ever live in Europe, ever. It's not that I didn't have an interest. I remember being in high school in my AP art history class, and my teacher, he was thinking about planning a trip to get the art students to go to Paris. And I was the student that was like trying to get everyone to go because I dreamed of going to Paris to study art. And so it's like the clues were there, but never living for sure. Life surprises you.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it. Every single day. Amazing. Okay. So the reason why I asked that question is I think prior to COVID, as to say a snapshot, especially for me as a dancer growing up, for some reason I had a dream I wanted to live in Europe. That was something that I wanted to experience as specifically a dancer. So maybe that's related to my Valencia line. Who knows? Also, I don't remember now if I've said this just because of things that have come out of my mouth so far. I'm a professional flamenco dancer.
Wow. Where do you have your Venus?
My Venus is in Virgo, and I have a stellium of Venus, Virgo, Jupiter with my IC.
Oh, I love it. Venus, Jupiter. Oh, that's so fun. And that's in your third house?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. The ritual, the routine. I love it. That's so fun.
That's super cool. For some reason, that was a dream for me. Wanted it. Always thought I was going to have it, but didn't know how I was going to get there. Then went to university for dance and was like, okay, but then university does not prepare you for real life. Speaking as a 1-3 profile, you were going to Barnes and Nobles for class as opposed to going to class. Like you were in real life already.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, how do I do this dance thing? So there was a period of time. I started flamenco when I was 13. We're jumping timelines here. And then I didn't dance with my flamenco teachers until, again, roughly about when I went to university in Winnipeg. And then I came back to Ontario, reconnected with my Spanish teachers from when I was littler, when I was 13. But then that didn't happen. Then I became a trainer and left dance behind for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I went to Ibiza, went to Spain, saw live flamenco, had a healing moment, and then went back to dance. Yeah, thank you for travel. But still, where I'm going with the dreaming in Europe part is I moved to the UK for what ended up only being about 4 months because COVID happened and the actual lockdown happened. I was there when the lockdown was happening. Decided to get the fuck out. Came back, thank God, of just like what initially was transpiring, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was insane. However, though, for my knowledge about astrocartography and thinking about travel, my North Node is at 28 degrees Sagittarius. So I am very much somebody who loves the adventure and the joy of learning and travel and excitement. Thinking about the world and coming back to our home after having such life-changing experiences has always made me want to live around the world. Thank goodness that I did that moment, had it. Maybe there'll be another time when that happens of relocating, most likely when I have my actual family, because I want my family to come with me for where I'm at in my life stage. But I just always think it's interesting about understanding the fact that the world in your line of work is what you preach every day, literally turns certain things on for us. It changes our energy. Yeah. And when people say, oh, when you go home, like, how are you going to implement the things that you did in your travel or what you experienced if you went on a retreat or whatever? That's mumbo jumbo to me. I'm like, no, just go fucking do the trip. Who cares about what's going to happen post? You'll figure it out.
And you'll be changed. Those astrocartography lines, they literally show you an event opening in your life, a storyline that begins. Like even, and there's something called paren lines. Paren lines aren't often
I don't know. I don't know what this
So they're
is.
latitude lines.
Oh.
So you have like these long lines going across your map. You got 48 of them going through the world. You also have latitude lines. Now, if you use a free website like astro.com, you can't see them, unfortunately. But just know there are lines at a latitude. So like you might have a line in London that's going right through London. But if you go up to York, a bit north, you've got a different one. Or in Edinburgh, you have 3 of them. There's different lines depending if you go north or south. And that's why I always say 30 minutes, a 30-minute drive can change the energy of a place big time. I've had so many clients where they'll live on a beautiful Jupiter line. And Jupiter is abundance. It's usually really supportive for people, especially if they've got a good Jupiter in their chart or Jupiter's really well placed in their birth chart, right? But if they've got a difficult paren line at that latitude of that place that they're in, they're going to feel like there's a lot of challenges there. And there are a lot of challenges there. And so one of the things I've noticed with paren lines is even if people just travel to one, let's say you go somewhere where there's no astrocartography lines or there's no lines close to you, but you've got a paren line really close to that area or in that area that you're in, right? Let's say it's a Mercury and like the lunar nodes. The Mercury and the nodes are there. It's a blend of 2 planets or 2 points will be at that latitude. So let's say you go there and you get an idea for a book. This is something I see all the time with my clients. They'll say, I thought about starting a podcast in that location, or that's where I started my book, or that's where I found my literary agent. It's like something starts for you in that place. And then you can go home and the story's going to continue, but you just activated an event, an idea, inspiration, something started. It's like you hear so much about people who they move to France or Italy or they move somewhere in the world and then they get in, they're so inspired by the textures and the textiles, the handbags of a place that they decide to start their own clothing line, when they go back to the US. That is astrocartography playing out.
100%. That's cool. Okay. That was something I was hoping was going to come up. I'm like, what the fuck are those? They're the other way.
Yeah.
So cool.
And they're so important. And you go on social media, you go on TikTok, no one's talking about them. That's why
you're the first person I've legitimately seen talking about those.
Yeah. They're called latitude crossings. And if you go to the free website, astro.com, there's a little button on the top right-hand corner of the map. It says show details. If you click on that, it'll tell you the latitude crossings that are in the area.
Okay. For all listening, go look up your latitude lines. Now we're going to get a little bit nerdy maybe on some human design stuff because now I'm like, oh my God, Helena does not know as much about her human design. And this is where
I love learning about it's like, how there's some things that it just doesn't click. It doesn't click with human design for me.
That's fine because I'm here to support you, baby. That's great. I'm going to turn this into a human design thing that I guess I'll say out loud and then we can chat about it. Let's go on the digestion and environment that comes up in a human design graph, because this is the more nuanced. This is the nerdy shit when you get a human design reader going like myself, that we get cool on this stuff. You've probably seen on a graph, on your graph, I looked it up. Ours are pretty similar. Yeah, which is super cool. Even though we are born 2 years apart, I found Helena through the internet. And she has what is called my design date. The exact moment that my soul entered my body is May 17th of 1992. And your birthday is May 17th, 1994. Shit.
Wow.
I know.
Wild. Of all the days of the year. That's incredible.
Of all the days of the year. This is the fucking coolness of the world and how 2 people who've never met can get along in 2 seconds, right?
And we have such synastry too. And so much synastry.
We do. There are arrows next to the top of the 2 centers at the top of a graph. And they really speak to how we just structure our days. They speak to specifically how our body digests information and food. And then as well, what type of environments we feel best in. Also thinking about then the greater location of astrocartography. So your digestion, the arrow is pointing left. I got to actually double check. I'm going to check.
I'm literally writing these down
because it's left. Okay. It's left. Yes. I love it when I get to teach live in the moment.
I love this. I'm obsessed with learning this.
So there's 4 arrows. The 4 arrows, more that point left, more structure. And you already said that out loud of when I moved to France, everything kind of felt a little more structured, but in a way that suited me as opposed to feeling hustly.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cool. When arrows point right, it means less structure. It means passive. I have 3 pointing to the right and 1 left. So I'm a little bit more ad hoc, which is funny for being a trainer. That's another story. So 4 left. Awesome. And your digestion is pointing left. That means you have, in air quotes, they call it active digestion. Also, for being a manifesting generator, you guys eat a lot, just in general.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah. I eat a lot. I have a big appetite. I also have Jupiter on my ascendant.
Jupiter and you're a Taurus sun. You just love beautiful food, just in general.
I love it. Rich foods.
Yeah. And I mean, France has got a lot, so you're good.
So my 4 arrows are all left.
One is right, and I'll tell you in a second. 1 is right, but all are left so 3 out of 4 are left. Which just means you like structure, and your digestion specifically is left, which just means you need to eat a lot because your body, your brain is going through a lot of energy. And defined sacrals, when we get full, like we're really frustrated with that. We really don't like it.
Yeah, totally.
Some human design types are better at dealing with that because they actually don't have a turnoff. Which is cool. Left. And then we started to talk about it already. It's called high or sound. So you need stimulating environments. Going out to a busy restaurant that's highly lit, not quiet in the back. You're probably in the center of everything or the bar top.
Oh my God. This is so spot on. Cool. There's a cafe I always go to almost every day. For me, it's a non-negotiable bill of getting a coffee when I'm working on that work day. I'm going to a cafe and they have a section in the top that's like in the dark and it's kind of low ceilings hidden away in the back. And then there's a section downstairs where people come in and out. It's busy. The barista's right there making all the coffees. And it's like in the center of the room and it's a lot of light. And that's always where I sit. I hate being upstairs in that like dark, hidden, tucked away area.
Yeah. I'm like, give me the dark, hidden, tucked away, but I want to be by a window. And I'll tell you why in a second. I need to be able to see everyone. I don't want to be in the center of it, but this will just go to show you the difference to why that's particular for us, let alone on the digestion part, also the environment part. Something that I'm like, this girl's got it already. Speaking about just listening to, is it a fuck yes or a fuck no with having a gut authority? At the end of the day, if we know our profile, our energy type, and what authority we have in human design, that's it. You don't need this extra cool shit because you know that in the moment, if I'm jazzed and excited about this is my body telling me yes. Also, to eat the thing. Not just go to the place, but also eat the thing. Do you ever bounce at the table when you're like eating something you really like?
Oh, totally. I'm always moving. My feet are moving. Completely. Yeah. When I'm like enjoying something, yes, I'm moving my body like that. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. I know that I just chose the correct thing by that. And generators and manifesting generators, we dislike open-ended questions about food. So if somebody asks what I want for dinner, I'm like, fuck off.
No idea. No idea. I tell my husband all that all the time. He's always like, what do you want? I'm like, I have no idea. No idea. Give me options.
Options. We need options. And we usually need to see pictures. It's like we're 5.
Yes. Yes.
All the time. So I love that you're already doing that. I knew that you probably would be just out of how it comes across that you truly are who you are online, which I think is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And the sound, the high sound, right? It's like I love listening to podcasts. I love listening to music. My brain needs to be stimulated as I'm eating. People will tell me you should eat in silence. I'm like, no, it doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel good.
And silence, but not when I'm eating.
Yeah. Well, to turn your brain off when you want to calm down, when you want to turn it off for the day, everything is silent for you. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a way that it actually legit will shut down your digestion. For someone else, it might not quite do the same, but which is cool.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. If you're ever feeling like I need to turn it off, then go to the dark corner of the restaurant and not eat as much and then leave. And you'll be like, I'm more calm now.
Yes. Incredible. What an incredible tool. What are your thoughts on reaching out? I've noticed that oftentimes, because I don't know what it is, but it's like people come to us as generators and manifesting generators. Like people come to us and then we say yes or no.
Yeah.
Whereas I've noticed when I pitch other people or
Mhm.
I am like reaching out, I hire a publicist and we reach out, it doesn't work as well. Is that something with our human design type too?
Yep. And it's annoying. I feel you. It's happened to me. I can count how many times on my fingers when I get an actual, because I reached out to you, right?
Yeah.
When I get a moment, I see my opportunity and something's been picking at me for a couple days now I'll also, maybe I'll get into my mediumship and psychic stuff I've been working on personally. If the energy isn't going to be received back, our body is trying to respond and find the right thing to look at. I will literally describe how I decided to actually reach out to you, found some of your content for some reason, whatever, and then was like, okay, I like this chick. I'm going to follow this chick around. Cool. For a couple days of seeing her stuff come up and like actually watch your story and engage with the content anyways. And then saw that you were going to Norwalk because of you reaching 100K when this was like a month or so ago, right? I was like, oh yeah, this girl, she's fucking killing it. Cool. There's something about this now that I'm like, I feel like I want to engage with this because I knew what Norwalk was. My energy was considering me enough as opposed to me like overthinking that I needed to connect with you or that I wanted to reach out. I needed to have that piece of connection about Norwalk and then messaged you at the right moment, then we got the right connection, then it happened.
Yes.
Whereas if I'd found you in some other way or been immediately, I think she needs to be on my podcast and reached out, that proper energy exchange may not have worked.
Wow. Fascinating.
To what our design is trying to get us to respond to.
Yes. Are you going to Norwalk, by the way?
I'm not, unfortunately, but I will at some point. And I'm not sure if it's this year, but it could be this year. A medical astrologer that I aspire to, who's also been on my podcast, Kira Sutherland, I think is going.
Oh, yes. She's amazing.
She's awesome.
Oh my God. She's so great. UAC's coming too. UAC is like huge. It's the biggest astrology conference in the world. That's happening in September in Chicago.
Okay. Maybe we meet there.
Yeah, totally.
On this podcast live, we meet there.
Yes.
Okay. That's digestion for you.
Wow.
This is cool. Your only right arrow is your environment arrow. This is another reason why now that I'm thinking about people needing to come to you. So there's so many ways and avenues and we can think about our certain arrows and how they help play in our design, let alone our authority and us just trying to see out in the world what we need is responding as a sacral energy type. Because we have to see first what we want. Is because yours points right, it's passive. You like to be the one that sits and people come to you. I might be having my own light bulbs in this moment. My only left arrow is my environment arrow.
Oh, wow. Some structure.
I need more structure in my movement, in my environment, where I'm actually
That's perfect for us.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that works. And
Yes.
that it's okay that in your day, for parts of your day, that most likely you do more sitting, being on a laptop, having more meetings. Me, I work with clients all day. I'm up, I'm moving, I'm stretching them, I'm training them. I love to sit down at the end of the day and get cuddled up in my blanket like a Cancer rising and anything in comfort, but I need to move for the majority of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And that's the
I'd go
left
crazy.
arrow for environment.
These are arrows next to my head. I've got my mic up. I like this. Some people won't all see the video. Anyways, the first arrow is on the left, our digestion.
Okay.
The one under that is environment. So we go from left to right, actually, in the arrows. We go digestion, then environment, then it goes across to perspective, which is the bottom right, and then it goes up to motivation.
I see.
For you having a right environment as well, like you feeling it's okay. You like to be the fly on the wall for a hot second. Hey, let's see what's going to transpire before you potentially engage with whatever. But what's more particular about yours, which I think is so cool, we have the same environment style, but they're a smidge different because there's 2 variations of it. We have what's called shores. And shores is actually there are 6. There are so many layers. But anyways, there's 6 environments. We have the last one. And there's one that's artificial, they call it, artificial shore, and natural shores. You have artificial shores.
Ooh.
I have natural shores. And the difference between the two, artificial likes to be in more of cityscape vibes. But like you living in Paris is literally the description of artificial shores, I find, in my kind of viewpoint, and being a Taurus sun, you want to have the villa outlook. If we're thinking about grace, you want to be in the villa, not on the beach, but looking at that nice thing.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Me, I want to be on the beach. All the
Uh-huh.
time. Shores, to just say in a snapshot, is we want to be in seeing two different environments at once.
Like Miami.
Yeah.
Like the city to the beach.
Literally that. When it's in the artificial, when we think of the word artificial, we think of building, we think of man-made things. You are a little bit more comfortable being in the apartment looking at the beach than actually being on the beach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's interesting because I live in Versailles. It's crazy because my apartment looks out at the most beautiful trees and flowers. But I walk out of my apartment and in 10 minutes, I'm at the Versailles Gardens. And so it goes from like the palace, the city of Versailles. I walk 10 minutes and now I'm in this wooded area and the gardens. It's two completely different environments within the span of 10 minutes.
Which your body is seeking the access to at all times. I live on the outskirts of Toronto, Canada. I have lived downtown and I won't go there. I cannot live with buildings around me, whereas an artificial shore might be able to do it. I can't. I need to live on the outside of a city. Versailles on the outside of Paris. I only know that because I've been there. It's not in like downtown Paris.
Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't do cities. It's chaotic in the city center of Paris.
I mean, how'd you survive in New York? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I literally look back at those years and I'm like, I really don't know how I did it.
Oh, man.
You couldn't pay me. There's enough money in the world to get me back to New York.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I still live in Toronto, and I think it's just because of definitely my astrocartography lens. But I need to be on the outside of a city. I need to be close to nature, but I like to, more even in artificial shores, likes to have the access to do stuff. Like to feel in the thick of it, but then remove ourselves to have our peace and our reflection from being in these two different.
My husband's a cave type. And I've noticed with cave types, he loves to be home when it starts to get dark outside.
Yeah.
The minute it starts to get a little dark outside, he like wants to be in control of the environment and he wants to go home. And he's very picky about who can come to our house. And I'm like, this is so cave. The cave.
That's it. What is his energy type of the 5?
He's a generator. He's a 1-5-5-1.
5-1 generator. Yeah. Love me a good 5-1. My best friend is a 5-1 manifesting generator. My other best friend here in Toronto is manifesting generator 1-3. We usually end up interacting with at least one number out of our profile the most of who our closest humans are because we get that energy. That's your environment and digestion, which is pretty fucking cool. The fact that you're in a place in the world that is literally now giving you the structure to do that, I think is so beautiful. We got one last question. Is there a trend that you see with your clients right now as to what they're coming to you about as a whole? This could be any trend, does not have to be related to their health. I mean, but it probably naturally will be. That's just my assumption. But what is a trend that lots of people are saying to you right now?
Yeah, there's 2. The first one is so many of my clients are wanting to leave the United States and move abroad. This has been happening for the last 2 years, but people have been wanting to, but it's been ramping up like crazy in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, unfortunately, and this is why I've really stopped making certain types of content or stopped talking about certain things on astrology and world predictions, is a lot of people are just getting afraid of what's happening in the world, the astrocartography. We have certain techniques in astrology like called geodetic astrology, which shows the map and where energies are manifesting. We've got hard astrology overall, especially for the United States over the coming years. I make one piece of content, not fear mongering, but just saying, hey, the US is going to be entering some crazy times this summer. If you say that, even if it's a very calm way of saying it, suddenly everyone freaks out. And so I'm trying to figure out a way how to report the astrology from a lens of no fear astrology. We stay empowered. We learn this as a tool, as a practical tool, so that we can understand how to read our own charts and our own timing. I think one of the things I'm seeing a lot of is just people more afraid than ever.
That's insane. I'm not surprised of hearing about the fear vibe because I definitely, I see that as well in my own psyche about it and the types of content that's being produced, I actually get really mad at that content. Even as an example, like the most recent content about all the conjunctions, the fact that we are having a podcast on the Aries new moon. This will be released a little bit afterwards, but this is Aries new moon. There's been all this conjunction this week. Everybody's like, this is the worst 2 weeks of the year. There's so much volatility. It's fine.
I know. And there's always a way you can use the benefit of this astrology too. This astrology has so many benefits too. That's the thing is astrology, there's so much nuance to everything. And most people, they make content based on clicks and what will get people to watch. Most people, they don't want nuance. A lot of people want doom and gloom world predictions, and I'm just not interested in that. You'll go viral, you'll get popular for that kind of content. I'm just realizing, no, there's enough of that online. I want to empower people and help people see nuance in astrology and not be afraid of things.
Yeah, I love that. See, I knew we were going to connect on all points, even though I had never spoken to you before.
Oh, yeah. And this is such great confirmation for me too, because it's like, you know, like my people are out there, people like you know.
We're here. We can find each other, you know. How the algorithm, we want it to work. Okay, this is one question that's popping up and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with Instagram and Uranus going into Gemini long term?
Long term,
yeah.
Long term, I think AI is going to be everywhere. We're going to have AI twins, AI clones. I think a lot of content creators are going to go completely to AI for their content, their writing, their videos. And I think we are not going to know what's real, what's not. Even I'm starting to get people asking me if I'm AI. And I'm like, this is such an insult.
Yeah.
I literally show up on camera every day. This is such an insult to even think that. I think that's what we're going to see more of is like, people not trusting fully or not being able to decipher things anymore. And I don't think social media is dying. I think I've seen a lot of content about how like social media is dead and people are getting off. I think some people will get off. There's also such a huge new group of people that are on the apps that are starting to make content. I was just thinking about this today, how like a lot of the people that were big 10 years ago, they're not still posting anymore.
No.
Or they don't want to play the game anymore of astrology, of learning how to do reels and learning how to do this. They don't want to play that game anymore. So a lot of people, those people that were big 10 years ago, they're getting offline. Now we have all these new people that literally just started 2 months ago and they're growing like crazy. Social media is not going anywhere. And the other thing is we are social creatures. We love social media.
Yeah.
I love meeting people like you and connecting with like-minded kindred spirits and finding people who are interested in the same things as me. That's not going anywhere. I do think, I also have a prediction that there's going to be a new social media platform that's like anti-AI, and it's going to be a new social media this is the real kind of stuff. I expect that to be coming in the next few years.
Yeah.
But robots are going to be everywhere.
They're
going to be helping us
food at Swiss Chalet in Canada now. Sorry to cut you off. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's delivering it from the kitchen. I was like,
wow. I know. I made that prediction a year and a half ago on my YouTube channel for a year ahead. It was 2025 forecast predictions. And it was like, literally, we're going to have robots taking our groceries out of the grocery store, doing our laundry. I'm honestly open to it. I hate doing that stuff. So I'm happy to give a task to,
to something that is menial to me, but hey, this is why we got cool with building shit as a human being. What do we not want to do? I mean, let's make a robot do it. Why not?
This is the Industrial Revolution 2.0. Like, I remember this astrology is so similar.
Bonkers. This is something, this will be a good thing to finish on, is I actually have now truly felt a change in my own energy for stuff I've been working on as a whole. I'm actually empowered for one of feeling like I'm actually aware enough to know what's going on, to truly know that I am actually in control of my own reality and not this mirage of the burn down that's supposed to be happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have kids because I want them to change the world around because, you know, we're woke enough to do that, to use that word. I'm not about the whole words of manifestation, like all the hype words.
Yeah,
they're not
totally. Quantum leap. I know. I totally feel
Get it.
I get it.
Well, I feel empowered now as much as the shit's got to burn down so that we build it up in the right way.
And I got to say, every time Uranus leaves Gemini, after that period of 7-8 years, people are more united. Uranus in Cancer is
Oh
going
my
to be, it's
God.
going to be like, oh my
I love
gosh,
it.
it's going to be, I know, in the 1950s in the sense of like home and family and
Yeah.
new technology and innovation for the home. That's
Yeah.
literally 1950s was when like laundry machines were coming out and dishwashers
Oh,
and all of these new tech for the home and making
cool.
family life easier. That's
Ooh.
going to be Uranus and Cancer. And it's like after Uranus and Gemini, the kind of busyness, and I think taking care of, this is a tip for all of you guys listening, take care
Yeah.
of your nervous systems. Take care of what are you putting your attention on, your energy, where are you putting it over the next 7 years?
Mhm.
Because I am feeling great. Everyone else is scared out of their mind. And I'm like, I'm great because I don't pay attention to fear. I don't get sucked in to all of these scary videos and doom scrolling. If you can really take control of where you put your attention and your energy, you're going to be fine over these next 7 years.
Oh my God, we're going to thrive. We're going to be the ones that are taking charge of how whatever our astrocartography is taking off, or what is timed for us as these millennials. And some stuff, that I felt really drawn to post is we're the hero generation. Yes, that I found some
Yes,
stuff
we
on
are.
yesterday, and I was like, yeah, we fucking are. The millennials don't
We
know
are.
shit, but we do know who we are.
Yep.
Which is what matters.
And that's all the Aries stuff. Aries knows who it is. Like
Mhm.
Neptune in Aries, glorifying the hero, becoming the hero of your own life, being empowered, doing the messy work and doing it anyway. That's the next 3 years with Saturn and Aries too. It's like, this is the time. These are the years to step up and show up and remain empowered.
I love it so much. We are fearless. Helena, we could talk for hours.
I know.
I mean, I knew that was going to be the case, but I just want to thank you so much for agreeing randomly on the internet to talk to a stranger. Is there anything else that you want to, just of being Helena, that you want to say to close out about saying something? I don't know. It's going to be amazing.
When the world gets loud, one, you can always choose to put yourself in a better place if you wanted to. You can use the power of astrology to help you in your life and use it as a practical tool, whether it's changing your living situation or whatever. Aside from all that, it's notice the simple joys, your everyday things that bring you joy. Lighting a candle, smelling the flowers, making yourself a good meal, petting a dog on the street, putting on music and dressing up for the day. Like, how can you romanticize the small little things about life that's so magical? And the simple joys, and they really are simple. I think if we pay a lot of attention to those things every day, we'll notice that we're a lot more joyful and appreciative.
Hands down. Just mic drop. Yeah. Because one, spoken like a true manifesting generator. And two, that's really all we're doing when we wake up and go to bed every day. Because otherwise, it's the rat race of what you left and what you realized, oh my God, this is way better way to live my life. You are literally living proof of now that much more thriving in your business, that much more, okay, I can't wait to get up every day and do this again and again and again, right? Like the energy.
Yes. That aliveness is so contagious.
Amazing. It certainly is. Again, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thanks for having me on, Francis.